and that, in and of itself, is scary. When my then-boyfriend John and I were first living together in Brighton in 2012, he planted a tiny seed in my head. There was an abandoned church across the street from our apartment, a big, beautiful, historic building. Someday, I will buy that church for you and we will live there, he'd say, even as we just managed to pay the rent on our small apartment and dreamed of owning a home. In 2013, I started my wedding coordination company, and we looked across the street and his proverb had changed. Someday, I will buy that church for you, and we will live there, and we will renovate it, and you can plan your weddings in that space. I laughed along with him. I had coordinated hundreds of weddings over the next few years, and I had the opportunity to work alongside some of New England's best and most beautiful venues with my incredible team. We worked with awesome vendors, many of you here, each of whom are experts in their field. But what stuck out to me most was that my clients were looking for a better space, a bigger space, more flexible, more custom. Maybe I started to think after a few years, I should buy that church across the street and turn it into an event space. I know that people would want to get married there. At the end of 2015, I pitched my mom on an idea. With her background in business and local politics and my event planning experience, we could partner. I thought it would be something different than it has been. We pictured that end goal of entrepreneurship, of sitting together in an office, of seeing beautiful brides and amazing holiday parties. The journey to get to this moment right here, that part was impossible to picture. There were so many times in the midst of this process that I felt lost. The steps that we had to take to gather information and approvals to be able to even make this project happen took us down many roads. Before we could purchase this building, we had to secure a loan. We were turned down again and again and again as too risky of an investment. To me, this was a no-brainer. A historic property in a beautiful downtown with this team behind it. I had spent hundreds of hours on the phone pitching anyone who would listen on an idea that we had. The banks found a million reasons not to finance us, and one by one we ran out of options. There were at least a dozen times that my mom and I played this game of chicken. Who's going to be the one to call it first? And who's going to be the one to push us forward? It was on our very last attempt, many, many months into trying to get those funds, when the sellers had already ended our agreement on this property, that we secured a loan from the Small Business Association. We celebrated together, patting ourselves on the back for making it through an excruciating process without having any understanding of what was to come as we pushed forward to close on the real estate and start this $1 million construction project. I was a full 9 months pregnant on the date that we closed on this property last fall. Although I like to joke that I certainly wasn't pregnant when we had started this process, that's how long it took. My daughter and this business were launched together. And to that little girl, I will tell you stories one day. I will tell you how I brought you here just a few weeks after you were born, taking photos for a newspaper article while you slept in your car seat. I will tell you how I nursed you in the car all winter long between the porta potty and the construction dumpster. We had no heat in the building. I will tell you how I wore you around for hours, took you on every tour of the space, to every single construction meeting, and even made you wear little headphones to protect your brand new ears. We have not gone to story time at the library or any other enrichment activities, but I think that together we're learning something even better here. Woo! There are some people that I need to thank as I stand up here today. First and foremost, my husband. It's been a roller coaster, and you know I love roller coasters. Thank you for being on this one with me. Thank you to my parents for so believing in me, and to my mom for standing beside me. To my siblings and my friends, and everyone who has been part of the saga of the last few years, to the question, how is Peabody going? My standard answer for over a year was, it's terrible. And then I launched into the latest challenge we were trying to overcome. So thank you for continuing to ask, even when you knew the answer. Thank you to the growing group of clients who have booked this space for a special event. Several of you sight unseen. All of you with a whole lot of faith that we would finish this project and do right by our word. Thank you to our realtor, Jake, who got the really helpful search that we can afford, somewhere near Boston, and who stuck with us through the search and through the purchase. Thank you to our incredible construction team at the Stukel Group who made this happen. Most notably, Justin LaRose, who's been in this building 6 days a week since October. Sometimes I try to get him to come in on Sunday, but he politely refused, and I'm sorry, Justin. Thank you to the officials here at Peabody for welcoming us, for loaning us money to make this happen. As I often tell people as I launch our tour of this space, there is no place I'd rather be. In welcoming all of you to this space, I feel in some ways as though I'm welcoming you to my home. In the literal sense, I've spent many, many hours here. The paint in the women's room is the same as my daughter's nursery. The mirrors in the bathrooms match my guest room at home. And some of the furniture came quite actually from my house. But in a figurative sense, when I'm here, I feel at home. I would like to tell you that the only thing I'm feeling right now is pride, but that wouldn't be the truth, and I really only know how to tell it like it is. So the truth is that I'm fearful. I'm fearful we won't be successful, but that fear drives me to show up, to work harder, and to achieve more. Every milestone along this journey has been hard-won, and I fully expect there will be many more. But I cannot wait to see what comes next, and to share it with all of you. Cheers to what's next. We have 7 tremendous caterers here: a la carte, capers, cuisine chez vous, forklift, Le Bon Maison, Beaujolais, and Premier. Trust me, these are the people you want standing next to you as you are planning your next event, no matter the size. Thank you to Cappy's and Jack's Abbey for our beverages, Pete for our furniture and event rentals, Greg, the owner of C-Zone Entertainment, for setting the classy vibes, Julie Lippert for capturing our first ever event in photos, Peabody-based photographer for this amazing lighting, and Evans Flowers, who are right around the corner here in Peabody. Thank you to the mayor for your remarks, and to all of you for your attendance and support. But most of all, I invite you to help me spread the word about what we've built here. Let's not keep it a secret. I'd like to fill this space with beautiful events and classes and photo shoots every day of the week. So if you have an idea for me, I want to hear it. Seriously, send me an email, let's make it happen. The bar remains open, thank you to Premier, and we're serving up more bites and desserts until 7, so I invite you to stick around. Thank you.